How's everybody doing? I thought I'd get to this too. Why does Alan end a live just to start another one? One, it gives people a chance to rejoin. Two, they're on different topics. So that way it's not all just crammed into one. If somebody only wants to watch for 30 minutes, they can just watch for 30 minutes instead of having to decipher through stuff for an hour. The biggest reason is I fucking wanna. That's the biggest reason. I fucking want to. But anyway, in this one we are going to be talking about an obese TikToker who has decided that she is just going to, I don't know, completely ignore reality. That's what they do. Honestly, that's what they do. It's I don't know why, but it's simply fucking crazy. Oh, here we go. Hang on a second. I'm gonna bring this over here. Okay. So, and again, it's, you know, if you guys don't like the new format, I'm sorry, but I don't care. I do like doing the half-hour topics because there's so many things to talk about. The way my ADHD works, I'm able to reposition my fucking thought process and then like bring some stuff out to you. Hang on a second. This is perfect actually, because then he can visit all the ADHD tangents, but also organize them a bit. That's literally fucking it. Exactly. Holy shit, that's literally fucking it. Like, thank you, Elena. That's it. Thank you very much. That's literally fucking it. Right? Goddamn there. That's fucking great. Thank you. I feel like you guys get me. It's awesome. Anyway. Fellow ADHD, I got you. Yeah, you do, Elena. Hell fucking yeah. Hell yeah. All right, so I was sent this by, there's a group of us, people that talk about weight loss and stuff like that. We have a group chat on Instagram, and they sent this to us. So thank you guys for doing that. I appreciate it. But, geez. So this young lady, and I don't want anybody going and sending her hate because she obviously hates herself, but it's unnecessarily cringe is what she calls herself. And I just want to make sure I got the right ones. Give me a second. So, all right, here we go. Here we go. With this crazy woman. Present. Screen. Okay, here we go.
No joke, everyone is coughing in New York City right now, including myself, and it's the worst.
That seemed actually a little fake. But in case you guys don't know, there's a new pneumonia going around. And they can't really name the pneumonia because it's not really a pneumonia. It's a bunch of pneumonias. And it's literally because people hid inside for 3 fucking years, didn't expose themselves to the fucking environment, wore a diaper on their face, and likely fucked up their immune system with some very fucking sketchy experimental therapies. This young lady has a different thought process on it. She has a completely different thought process on it. I know it sounds a little weird, but we'll just let her talk.
Yeah, it's COVID.
You don't think in a fucking that these people would be getting tested for COVID, like with how crazy New York City was about it before? You don't. I mean. So are you saying? Are you saying that COVID wasn't like serious enough where people, like the entire fucking population, can be coughing and it's not a problem? So why did we do with the shit we did before, right? So just wondering.
It's definitely COVID. Because contrary to popular belief,
I love how she says it's definitely. It's like, so the entire city of New York that's coughing all have COVID. Okay. According to Unnecessarily Cringe.
If the pandemic never ended, the U.S. arbitrarily decided that the pandemic was over because they did.
Technically, there was never really one to begin with because It didn't meet the actual criteria for a pandemic. We had possible already established therapies and preventatives, and we knew these things early. They just suppressed them. We also knew who the high-risk group was. We knew that the high-risk group was elderly people and fat people, for the most part. There was, of course, immunocompromised, but mostly it's fat people. There never was, like, that does not, when you have a very pronounced high-risk group, it's not a pandemic, because when it's not dangerous to other people that aren't in that fucking issue, that aren't in that group, when it's less deadly than the seasonal flu, it's not one. It's not, it doesn't meet the criteria. I mean, technically, if you look at the way the CDC records its numbers, about 50,000 people passed away from this new virus. The rest, and that's America, the rest have passed away with it, and like 4 other serious comorbidities with an average age over the age of life expectancy. That's not a pandemic. I know that upsets people, but it's just not.
Didn't want to provide financial support for people who've been affected by COVID so far.
The government doesn't provide financial support for fucking anybody. The citizens provide the financial support via our taxes. How are you people so stupid? I mean, it's fucking crazy.
Especially to the people who are permanently disabled by COVID. Because mass testing has basically stopped.
Who's permanently disabled? Like, I'm sure there are people, because there's permanent people, just as a newsflash, there's people permanently disabled by the cold, like the common cold every year. Some people, especially if they're, fat as fuck or immunocompromised or elderly, some people will catch it and they'll just get chronic pneumonia because they're weak, because they have either aged or gluttoned themselves to weakness. And there's also some immunocompromised people who have low immune systems due to either birth defect, medication they're on, or other illness that, through no fault of their own, they might catch a regular fucking cold or the flu and have permanent damage. This shit happens. Like, I'm amazed by these young folks thinking that, like, throughout entire human evolution, we haven't fucking, dealt with new colds and shit like that. Like, it's insane.
Statewide and nationwide. A lot of COVID analysis is done through examining wastewater, and right now, wastewater data suggests that there's a massive surge. On top of
And yet, hospitals aren't overloaded, and yet, we don't give a fuck. You know why? Because it was always a cold.
New strain of RSV that's been popping up in Ohio, and just your basic seasonal illnesses like flu. The boosters available.
There's not really seasonal illnesses, by the way. Just so everybody gets this, there's pretty much, communicable diseases floating around at all given fucking times. One of the worst neurovirus outbreaks we had at one of the assisted livings I used to manage was in June. In the heat, it was in South Carolina, and it was in June. And it was very, very, very bad because it's neurovirus and these are elderly people, right? Let's see.
At any of your local.
Oh, but what I was getting to, there's no real cold and flu season. It's actually low vitamin D, low activity, ultra processed season. Like, when the weather gets colder, all of a sudden everybody gorges themselves on ultra processed foods a lot more because of the holidays. And they don't move around as much. They don't get out into the sun. They normally don't hydrate really well. They actually drink a lot more during the winter than they do in the summer. So there's not really a flu and cold season. There's you are fucking your body over and fucking your immune system worse than it already is. Because, again, this lady's fat as fuck. And if you're fat as fuck, your immune system is pretty shitty to begin with. Just through the constant state of inflammation you're in, that lowers immunity, that lowers your possible immunity. I mean, there's a reason why one of my catchphrases is, listen to them breathe soup. That's inflammation in your fucking lungs already,
Pharmacies like Walgreens and CVS. And you should invest in some N95 masks or KN94. Don't take for granted. Don't take the health.
Don't take your health for granted, says the obese woman.
Of other people around you for granted. Protect yourselves.
If you're worried about people around you, wearing a face diaper is not going to stop the virus. And very realistically, the way people wear them is not gonna do anything.
And your loved ones this holiday season.
No joke, everyone is coughing.
Okay, so here's this next one.
Can I be petty for a second? Can I be like
I would be shocked if you wouldn't be, young lady.
really petty and mean for a second? But I fucking
As long as you don't mind me doing it right back.
hate diet culture, and I will
Of course you do, because
never
you're fat as
ever
fuck.
forgive diet culture for basically bubbling down human health to two determining factors, which is what you eat and how much you exercise. And I'm not downplaying the
Not necessarily. I know that a lot of people, like, I mean, I understand the whole diet culture thing, people fad diets, blah, blah, blah. I mean, frankly, you should be on something. You should be trying to lose weight in some fucking way, because you are fat as fuck. You're worried about COVID, and yet you're going to be fat, knowing that, like, it is an absolute fucking detriment to be morbidly obese and fucking fat. You know what I mean? Like, it's just ridiculous. I mean, but it's not boiled down to two factors. We talk, like, I know myself and many other people talk a lot, and I mean a lot about like the waist to height ratio, resting heart rate. Like I grab my resting heart rate like at least twice a week just to make sure it's in the 40s, the upper 40s right now.
the importance of those two factors, okay? They are super, super fucking important. But we're like forgetting the biggest important factor, the factor that probably trumps those two factors.
What is the factor that trumps what you eat and how, like diet and exercise? What are the factors that trump it?
And that is to prevent illness as much as possible.
To prevent illness as much as possible. You know how you prevent illness as much as possible? You work out, get sunlight, get good hydration, get good sleep, get good rest, get good stress relief, and not be fat as fuck. Fat people don't even process vitamin D as well, so therefore their immune system is lower. Like, this woman has no idea what the fuck she's talking about. She's just making herself look like a fucking idiot.
So sick of people looking down on me because I'm fat.
Well, I mean, you're fat. And I'm going to say I'm not looking down on you because you're fat. I'm looking down on you because you sound fucking crazy. I mean, you sound fucking ridiculous. Avoid chronic illness. That's the best way to stay healthy. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, this is, I bet you she's got a liberal arts degree.
Because they're all thinking, look at this girl. She doesn't take care of herself. She's not
She doesn't.
healthy.
She's not.
If you look at me and you are brainwashed by diet culture, you would probably think I'm unhealthy too, because I don't have.
I'm not brainwashed by diet culture. I am telling you that all data points to fat being bad for you. Being fat is bad. Being morbidly obese is bad for you. All the data points to that. Every single bit of it.
Have the perfect Pilates body because I'm not super skinny. I don't have a six-pack. But guess what?
Most women shouldn't have six packs.
Me as a fat woman, I'm probably gonna live longer than you. Not
even happening. I'm gonna live more years than you're gonna live as a fat woman. I'm old enough to be your dad. Still gonna way outlive you if you stay fat. way outlive you. And you're gonna get chronic illnesses and diseases way more often than I am.
Because I mask. Because I get my vaccinations. It doesn't matter.
So she thinks that masking and vaccinations is healthier than not being a fat fuck. It's just crazy. It's so crazy. It's so insane. Who is this? It's just some random person that she's got like 14,000 followers, but they sent a bunch of people sent this to me. But because she masks and gets her vaccines, that's going to make it healthier. What fucking world do you live on? Like, people really still believe this shit? Like, they still really believe this shit, right? Like, touching your face more often, that's not actually that healthy. With the mask, it's not actually that healthy. Masks are not worn to prevent viral infection or bacterial infection because they don't stop them. It's just fucking weird, weird. Somebody said I thought Asians were supposed to be smart.
Matter what your body looks like. It doesn't matter if you go to Barry's boot camp every single day and you have green juice in the morning. You do not protect yourself from COVID or any other illnesses out there by masking and getting your vaccinations.
See, you were on the right fucking path because, you know, if you don't protect yourself from chronic illness and disease by not being fat as fuck, by not being a fat fuck, by not treating your body like a dumpster, by not eating a lot of ultra processed foods that are going to have a higher than fucking normal inflammation rate, you're going to end up getting that shit.
Your health will rapidly deteriorate. Getting viral infections repeatedly is not good for you.
There's a thing called immunity. Like this thing that like your immune system builds up immunity to stuff. There's a huge amount of data that shows that another thing why it wasn't a pandemic is that a huge number of people already had T-cell immunity to the vid because they've had other coronaviruses many times. So they had immunity already via T cells. You know, like it's a real thing.
People are going around spreading this misinformation that getting sick repeatedly just boosts your immune system. It's not true.
It's absolutely true.
Literally, any scientific evidence is going to refute that and
except for any evidence that talks about natural immunity, which is all of it before 2020. Like this is a 2020 production. Like it's just like masks and jabs are better than nature. Like what the fuck are you talking about? Being fat, masking and jabbing makes her healthier than nature. That's painful.
Getting viral illnesses repeatedly causes long-term hazardous effects on your health. So if you really want to be healthy...
That's not untrue, but it's insane to think that that's more of a worry than being fat as fuck. It's insane. Like, she's a fucking loon bag. I love it.
Healthy and live long. Yes, eat right.
You're not going to live long. You're fat as fuck.
Exercise. But also, mask and vaccinate yourselves.
Now, expose yourself to the environment. Make sure that you get proper hydration, proper sleep, proper stress relief, proper nutrition, make sure you're getting all of your micro and macronutrients. Make sure you're getting enough vitamin D. Really, if we would have had enough people getting vitamin D, nobody would have ever noticed anything. Like, do people not realize that if we were a population of people that went out in the sun without sunblock, that fucking made sure that they supplemented vitamin D, that everybody was at a healthy weight, and took care of themselves and mobile and everything like that, and we stayed away from a society that just stayed away from ultra-processed foods, we would have never even known that there was a fucking new virus. I mean, we would have never known it. Never, ever, ever known it. Like, the actual data has admitted that vitamin D levels is important to prevent COVID. The actual data now, I mean, they have to admit these things after it comes on. Mark Lobliner, my very dear friend, was shadow banned on YouTube for years. He's still a little shadow banned from 2020 when he shared a study saying like, well, this helps with the flu, so maybe you should just take vitamin D, you know? It's fucking crazy that we're at this point. It's fucking crazy that we literally have full-on ass adults talking about how you fucking, getting COVID multiple times is worse than being fat. First of all, you probably got COVID multiple times because you're fat. Just saying. I mean, like, your immune system is shitty when you're fucking fat. Like, if her goal is to avoid communicable illness and disease, get it to the best physical, healthy condition as possible. That's the fucking what you fucking do. Lack of vitamin D suppresses testosterone too. Yes, sir, it does. Sure it does. All right, so what do we got going on? Why did they work so hard at convincing people to be fat or stay fat? I don't know. I really don't. Like, I mean, it's obviously projection, but, it's fucking crazy projection, that's for sure. I got chicken pox from a kid at kindergarten during nap time. I was sent to my best friend's house while he was home. I got a day off from school. Literally, my mom sent me over to my friend's house to play with him while he had chicken pox. So I would get chicken pox. That's how they did it in the old days. I eat all kinds of garbage and can barely move like a normal human being. Must be everybody else's fault that I feel bad over this. Exactly. So YouTube shadow banned Mark for trying to help, but they let James Charles roam free and go after minors. Oh, of course. I mean, you guys, like, I lost a fucking channel to actually, I lost a channel giving away, like analyzing CDC data is how I lost a whole channel. It had like 80,000 subscribers was my, in my opinion, of course, channel. Crazy, right? This woman is saying, Asia is saying it's not true, but Alan says it's true, but obviously woman Asian delusional. I don't even, okay. Free masks and jabs, but not free vitamins. That's such a good point. Such a solidly good point. But this woman's just crazy. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I mean, she's very clearly deluded in the COVID like bullshit. Like, it's like 2020 melted people's brains. It really did. It's like it made it so people cannot rationally think about like the reality that they literally just need to try to be as healthy as humanly possible. Like what I don't get about her is that she's omitting that she's just going to stay fat. Like if you're worried about catching this, if you were actually concerned, like if people were actually worried about COVID, they wouldn't be fat no more because all the data showed that it was harder on fat people. But this woman who's fat is saying, well, I mask and this and that, and that's why I'm healthier than you. Like, it's fucking sad. It's fucking weakness, you know? They work hard to normalize morbid obesity due to two factors, control of population and destruction of self-worth. Very good fucking astute. Very astute. All right, so any last questions, guys, by the way? Here is, oops. I want to share that. Here is where you can get Alchemy and No Morbidity and the Holy Trinity Weight Loss Bundle at the Ambrosia Collective. Please do head on over there and grab that shit. Not shit, it's good. It's amazing products that are helping tens of thousands of people. Just how I talk. And here is the deals for the books and for our coaching. Please do take us up on that. We have some coaching deals that are incredibly low expensive for daily communication, weekly video conferences. We help adjust your life. Please, 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 please take us up on those offers. We would love to work with you in the new year and help as many people as possible to be as healthy as humanly possible. So I tell you what, how much is Pfizer paying her? Who knows? Who knows? When I was in school, they gave us vitamins. I remember that too. I really do. But anyway, guys, I tell you what, I'm going to be live again this evening, 6 p.m. I'm probably going to be talking about an excerpt from a Joe Rogan podcast. So please do join me for that. I hope all of you have a phenomenal day. Thank you for joining up for this new format. I appreciate it. I appreciate all you motherfuckers, and I hope to talk to all of you soon. God damn.